What's up guys, my name is Ace, and yesterday we got quite a bit of news surrounding Black Ops Cold War from various sources, so I wanted to go through that in today's video. The first thing is what you're seeing in the background. The PC trailer has dropped for this game, and with this we see a bunch of new footage from the campaign that we haven't seen yet, or at least not publicly. A lot of this footage I've seen in a behind the scenes event where we got to see some campaign gameplay. But with this, there's a few interesting things I wanted to point out. First up, the Famas shows up in this trailer at this point right here, and that's not really a huge surprise that it's going to be in this game, but this is technically the first time we've actually seen the Famas in this game. And also toward the end of the trailer, we have the China Lake, that grenade launcher. That's also going to be coming to Cold War. I also wanted to mention this little snippet right here. This is from a campaign mission that I talked about a little bit. We got to see a few different chunks of this campaign mission, and I think this is going to be the coolest campaign mission in the entire game. And this is where you infiltrate a training area in Russia, but it's set up to look like a typical American town. And it's just such a cool experience. I'm really looking forward to playing through this mission, and I'm interested to see if they turn it into a multiplayer map as well. I think that would be awesome. But on top of this, alongside the trailer, we finally got the official PC spec list here of the minimum and recommended requirements for various settings and stuff in this game. And honestly, not a whole lot here was too surprising, although the hard drive space is going to be pretty high once again, just like Modern Warfare. It looks like multiplayer at launch is going to take up 50 gigs on PC, and a minimum of 175 gigs for all of the modes combined at launch. That's only going to get bigger as we get patches over time as well. And that's assuming you aren't using the Ultra RTX textures. If you have those, it's going to be about 250 gigabytes, which is massive for a game at launch. Especially, like I said, considering the fact that's only going to get bigger as time goes on. So that's the PC side of things as far as the most recent news. Now let's move on to the information we got from Activision's Q3 results call. With this, we got a little bit of higher level information on what to expect with Cold War, as well as a little bit on Warzone integration, which we're still looking for more information on, of course. But the first big bit of information here is Season 1 for Cold War is going to be starting in December, and not at launch. And this isn't really a surprise. It was the same story with Modern Warfare last year. I don't think Season 1 came for that game until the beginning of December, so it's going to be the same sort of idea here. But more importantly, when discussing Warzone, he said the Warzone integration with Cold War is going to start at the beginning of Season 1. And what this means is when Cold War launches on November 13th, don't be expecting any big changes to Warzone to reflect that. Not until December when Season 1 drops. But once Season 1 drops, this is when we'll be able to use all of our weapons and operators from Cold War into Warzone. And on top of this, in the investor call, they said there was going to be substantial new content as well. On top of you being able to use your guns and operators from Cold War, there's going to be substantial new content for Warzone. And to me, this means a brand new map. That is speculation though, that's not confirmed. They didn't actually say we're going to be getting a new map, but I'd be willing to bet it's at this point where we are going to be getting a new map for Warzone, and possibly some new mechanics like swimming, for instance. I do feel like they're going to be integrating that into Warzone, while still maintaining most of the general feel and the engine and everything with Warzone currently, because we're still going to be able to use all of our Modern Warfare content that we currently use in Warzone. So all of our guns, all of our blueprints, all of our operators, we're still going to be able to use those in Warzone going forward, even after this Cold War integration. Now, on top of this, they did confirm that with Cold War going forward, we're going to have the same sort of in-game content system as Modern Warfare, and we're also going to have the same sort of monetization scheme. So there's no season pass or anything. All maps and content are going to be coming free for everybody, but then there will be a battle pass system every season where you can get a bunch of cosmetic items through that battle pass, and then they're going to have like the paid operator packs and stuff. But all of this is great news in my opinion. Modern Warfare did an incredible job with their post-launch content, and they also confirmed that Modern Warfare has been the most successful Call of Duty of all time when it comes to post-launch sales. And this really isn't a surprise to me at all, because they finally integrated a proper consumer-friendly system that doesn't feel like you're gambling or being ripped off as a consumer. So of course it was going to be a successful system, and I'm glad that we're going to be seeing that going forward with Cold War. Now, another bit of information we got in this investor call is they mentioned that the core progression in Cold War is going to be the same as Modern Warfare. And he went on a little bit later to describe the levels 1 through 55. So when he's talking about core progression, I believe he's only referring to levels 1 through 55, where you initially unlock all the perks and the weapons and everything like that. There was no mention of what happens after level 55 though. And this is a big thing that the community is waiting to hear about. We want to know if prestiging is coming back, or if it's going to be that stupid seasonal system that Modern Warfare has where you cap out at level 155 and then it just resets you back to 55 at the beginning of every season. I'm really hoping that's not going to be the case, and I don't think that's going to be the case. I think that was their initial plan, but now that they've seen a lot of backlash and a lot of people begging for prestige mode, I think they're either going to bring prestige mode back or they're going to try something completely different. Maybe kind of a hybrid of some sort between seasonal and prestiging. I'm not really sure, but all we know is they will have a blog post discussing this in much greater detail before Cold War launches. So I would anticipate sometime next week, or who knows, maybe even we'll get it later today or something. Now, one last little bit of information that I found to be very interesting is apparently there were far more players playing the beta of Cold War than we saw with Modern Warfare last year, which honestly surprised me because Modern Warfare was marketed so heavily and hyped up across the entire year, whereas we haven't really seen the same thing with Cold War. And yet we saw more players playtesting Cold War than Modern Warfare. Now, perhaps that's just because Modern Warfare attracted so many new players from outside of the Call of Duty franchise over the course of the year, and now those players were, of course, playtesting the next Call of Duty game. I'm not too sure about that, and I'm not too sure how this is going to reflect the actual sales of Cold War versus Modern Warfare. But it does look like they are projecting very strong sales for Cold War. They have mentioned in the past they don't anticipate it's going to sell as well as Modern Warfare, and that's probably going to be the case. But even then, it still seems like this is going to be quite a strong title. And with that, that's pretty much everything I wanted to discuss in today's video. Even though it wasn't a ton of brand new information, at least we're getting a little bit of info, especially on the Warzone integration and when that's going to be happening. I can't wait to get into more of the details though and find out exactly how that progression system's going to work, and if we're going to be getting a brand new map with Warzone, and how exactly they're going to be integrating everything with that, because at this point, we just see things from kind of the higher level perspective without seeing the details. Now, I am interested in hearing from you guys. What are you thinking about this information? What do you think about the fact that we're going to be seeing the same base progression system as Modern Warfare, just like level 1 through 55? Do you hope that after level 55, we're going to have the same system as Modern Warfare? Or do you hope some sort of prestiging type system is going to be coming back? What do you think about the fact that Warzone isn't going to be changed significantly to match Cold War until the beginning of December, which will be Season 1? And what are your thoughts on that PC trailer that we got? Does this make you any more or less excited for the game? Just let me know those thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.